Hi students, today we are going to see errors in measurement. You take some object and measure its length and mass. You measure the length and mass with the help of some instruments. The measurement of your reading is not same as the true value, that is original value, due to the errors, that means due to your observations or instrumental error. Okay, so the uncertainty in a measurement is called an error. This error have three types, that is random error, systematic error and gross error. Okay, now we going to discuss about the systematic errors. The systematic errors are reproducible inaccuracies that are consistently in the same direction. These occur often due to a problem that persists throughout the experiment. So these systematic errors can be classified in five types, that is instrumental errors, imperfections in experimental technique or procedure, personal errors, errors due to external causes, least count errors. First, we can see instrumental errors. When an instrument is not calibrated properly at the time of manufacture, instrumental errors may arise. If a measurement is made with a meter scale whose end is worn out, you have scale, long size scale and small size scale, that ends are worn out. Okay, you take the reading in that scale, it will get errors. So the result obtained will have errors. These errors can be corrected by choosing the instrument carefully. The next one is imperfections in experimental technique or procedure. These errors arise due to the limitations in the experimental arrangement. As an example, while performing experiments with a collimator, if there is no proper insulation, there will be radiation losses. This results in errors, and to overcome these, necessary correction has to be applied. Then personal errors. These errors are due to individuals performing the experiment, maybe due to incorrect initial setting up of the experiment or carelessness of the individual making the observation due to the improper precautions. Next we see errors due to external causes. The change in the external conditions during an experiment can cause error in measurement. For example, changes in temperature, humidity, or pressure during measurements may affect the result of the measurement. This is the external causes of error. Then next one is least count error. The least count is the smallest value that can be measured by the measuring instrument. You already know the least count of vernier caliper and least count of screw gauge. Okay, and the error due to this measurement is least count error. The instrument's resolution hence is the cause of this error. Least count error can be reduced by using a high precision instrument for the measurement. Then next type of error is a random error. Random errors may be arise due to the random and unpredictable variation in experimental conditions like pressure, temperature, voltage supply, etc. You know, the voltage supply in your house, the voltages vary, sometimes flicker in your tube flicker, or the lights have small voltages, brightness is very small. Okay, that is a voltage error, voltage supply error. So these errors may also be due to the personal errors by the observer who performs the experiment. Random errors are sometimes called chance error. When different readings are obtained by a person, every time he repeats the experiments, personal error occurs. For example, consider the case of the thickness of wire measured using a screw gauge. The readings taken may be different for different trials. The wire, take this thickness of the wire, you read you take the readings in the different places of the wire. Take the readings in this. If n number of trial readings are taken in an experiment and the readings are a1, a2, a3, etc., an, this a1, a2 is a trial numbers. So the arithmetic mean is am equal to a1 plus a2 plus etc. an divided by n. So we can rewrite this equation am equal to 1 by n summation I equal to 1 to n I equal to 1 to n ai. This symbol is a pronoun summation or sigma. Okay, this is the best possible true value of the quantity. Certain procedures to be followed to minimize experimental errors. Okay, that is this one in this table, that is random errors and systematic errors of minimization. Then this is a random error. Example for this: suppose you measure the mass of a ring 3 times using the same balance and get slightly different values, that is 15.46 gram, 15.42 gram, 15.44 gram. Then how to minimize this one? Take more data. Random errors can be evaluated through statistical analysis and can be reduced by averaging over a large number of observations. And then next one is the systematic errors, and its example is, suppose the cloth tape measure in tailoring, in tailors have this cloth tape, you know this one. This cloth tape measure that you use to measure the length of an object has been stretched out from years of use. So the old cloth tape is it is elongated, or the this cloth tapes are shrinked, so it contract. So as a result of all, the length measurements are not correct. So how to minimize this one? Systematic errors are difficult to detect and cannot be analyzed statistically because all of the data is in the same direction. Either it is a original value to high value, or it is too low value. Next one is a gross error. The error caused due to the sheer carelessness of an observer is called gross error. For example, reading an instrument without setting it properly, taking observation in a wrong manner without bothering about the sources of errors and the precautions, and recording wrong observations and using wrong values of the observations in calculations. These errors can be minimized only when the observer is careful and mentally alert. Next, we are going to see error analysis. Absolute error. What is absolute error? The difference between the true value and the measured value of a quantity is called absolute error. What is meant by absolute error? The difference between true value and the measured value. If a1, a2, a3, etc., an are the measured values of any quantity a, so it is n times we take the absolute values. So then the arithmetic mean of these values, that is true value, am is a true value, arithmetic mean of true value. So am equal arithmetic mean, so am equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 etc. an divided by n. Rewrite this equation. Am equal to 1 by n sigma I equal to 1 to n ai. So this absolute error measured value is delta a1 because it is the difference between the true value and measured value. True value is a1, sorry, am is a true value and a1 is a measured value. So am minus a1 and this is absolute error. Okay, so delta a2 equal to am minus a2 etc. Delta an equal to am minus an. So mean absolute error, the arithmetic mean of the magnitude of absolute errors in all the measurements is called the mean absolute errors. So delta am equal to modulus of delta a1 plus modulus of delta a2 plus etc. modulus of delta an. This modulus means magnitude of delta a1. So rewrite this equation. Delta am equal to 1 by n summation I equal to 1 to n modulus of delta ai. Am, if am is a true value, delta am is the mean absolute error. Then the magnitude of the quantity may lie between am plus delta am and am minus delta am. Okay, this is a 3-mark questions, and the absolute error, define absolute error is a 2-mark question, and also this mean error is also 2-mark question. The define mean absolute error is a 2-mark question. Then relative error, it is also, the definition is a 2-mark, and write down relative error, write short notes on relative error is a 3-mark question. The ratio of the mean absolute error to the mean value is called relative error. That is fractional. It is also called fractional error. So relative error equal to mean absolute error divided by mean value. That is equal to delta am by am. So the relative error express how large the absolute error is compared to total size of the object measured. For example, a driver's speedometer shows that his car is traveling at 60 km per hour when its actual moving kilometer is 62 km per hour. So the absolute error is 62 minus 60 km per hour. So you get the absolute error is 2 km per hour. So relative error of the measurement is 2 km per hour by 60 km per hour. That is equal to 0.033. The next one is percentage error. The relative error expressed as a percentage is called percentage error. That is, relative error is expressed in terms of percentage. That is called percentage error. That is equal to delta am divided by am into 100%. A percentage error very close to 0 means it is close to the true value or target value, which is the good and acceptable one. It is always necessary to understand whether error due to impression of equipment used to a that means impression of equipment used or a mistake in the experimentations. Okay, then we can discuss about propagation of errors. A number of measured quantities may be involved in the final calculation of an experiment. Different types of instrument might have been used for taking readings. Then we may have to look at the errors in measuring various quantities collectively. So the final result depends upon the errors in the individual measurements. Second one, on the nature of mathematical operations performed to get the final result. So we should know the rules to combine the errors. So the various possibilities of the propagation of or combination of errors in different mathematical operations are discussed. That is, what is that? That is a error in the sum of two quantities. Okay, A, B are true quantities. The absolute errors are delta A and delta B. So measured value of A equal to A plus or minus delta A. Okay, because the true value is A. So you measure value is high the true value or low the true value. So you write A plus or minus delta A. Measured value of B equal to B plus or minus delta B. Then the sum, Z is a sum. So Z is equal to A plus B. Substitute this A plus or minus delta A value and B value B plus or minus delta B. Okay, and the error in this sum. So the delta Z is the error. So Z plus or minus delta Z, that is equal to A plus or minus delta A plus B plus or minus delta B. So rearrange the equation. Okay, this A plus B, then this plus or minus delta A plus delta B. You already know this A plus B is equal to Z. So Z plus or minus delta A plus delta B. In this case, left side and right side have Z. So Z is cancel. LHS Z and RHS Z are cancel. And this plus or minus also cancel. So delta Z equal to delta A plus delta B. So the maximum possible errors in the sum of two quantities is equal to the sum of the absolute errors in the individual quantities. Okay, this is a 3-mark question. And another one, errors in the difference of two quantities. This is a difference or subtraction of two quantities. Okay, this is also one of the 3-mark question. So delta A and delta B, the absolute errors in the two quantities. Then A and B respectively. A and B are the true quantities of true values. So measured value of A equal to A plus or minus delta A. Measured value of B is equal to B plus or minus delta B. Consider the difference Z equal to A minus B. Substitute the value for A and B in this equation. So, and also you know the error is delta Z. The error in delta z in z is z plus or minus delta z, z is equal to a plus or minus delta a minus b plus or minus delta b. So you rewrite this equation a minus b plus or minus bracket open delta a plus delta b. Okay. A minus b plus or minus delta e plus delta b. So you get, you already know a minus b is z. So z plus or minus delta a plus delta b. So delta z, this right side delta z and left side delta right side z and left side z are cancel, and this plus or minus is also cancel. So you get delta z equal to delta a plus delta b. So you can see the maximum error in difference of two quantities is equal to the sum of the absolute errors in the individual quantities, the same like as sum. In this case the sum of two quantities, but in this case the difference of two quantities. Okay, do you understand this one? And next one, errors in the product of two quantities. So you already know AB is two quantities of true value, and delta A and delta B be the absolute errors of these two quantities. Consider the product Z equal to AB. So the error Z, delta Z in Z is Z plus or minus delta Z equal to A plus or minus delta A into B plus or minus delta B. Okay, you multiply with B. So A, B and plus or minus B into this delta A. The next one is plus or minus A into this delta B, and another multiply this two plus or minus delta A and delta B. So you get AB plus or minus A delta B plus or minus B delta A plus delta A into delta B. So you divide LHS by Z. This is the LH value, Z plus or minus delta Z. So you divide Z LHS by Z value and RHS by AB. So Z plus or minus delta Z divided by Z. And AB and RHS divided by AB. So AB divided by, in this case, Z plus or minus Z divided by Z. So Z plus or minus delta Z divided by Z, and RHS divided by AB. So AB by AB plus or minus A delta B divided by AB plus or minus B delta A divided by AB plus or minus delta A delta B divided by AB. So AB cancel, you get 1. Z by Z plus or minus AZ by Z. Okay, this A and this A cancel, so you get delta B by B, and plus or minus this B and B cancel, so delta A by A, then plus or minus, separate this one, delta A by A into delta B by B. Okay, and this term delta A by A into delta B by B are very small, so this term is neglected. This term is neglected. So you can write this equation 1 plus or minus delta z by z equal to 1 plus or minus delta b by b plus or minus delta a by a. Okay, this 1 and 1 are cancelled. So you get delta z divided by z, delta z divided by z plus or minus delta a by a plus delta b by b. Okay, do you understand this one? The next, in this case, the maximum fractional error in the product of two quantities is equal to the sum of the fractional errors in the individual quantities. Okay, then next, errors in the division or quotient of two quantities. You already know AB are quantities or true values. That quantities of absolute errors are delta A and delta B. Consider the quotient Z is equal to A by B. So the error delta Z in Z is Z plus or minus Z, delta Z, that is equal to, you substitute A value A plus or minus delta A and B value B plus or minus delta B, that is equal to, take it out A in numerator, take it out A, so that is 1 plus or minus, and it have no A, so divided by A. In this time have no A, so A divided by A, say 1 plus or minus delta A by A. Then in denominator you take it out B value, so B 1 plus or minus delta B divided by B. Okay, do you understand this one? And A by B into 1 plus delta A by A. This denominator goes to numerator, so it is inverse. So 1 plus or minus delta B by B whole power minus 1. Okay, so then you know the binomial equations, that is 1 plus x whole power minus n equal to 1 minus nx. Okay, so you write this equation, this formula in this equation. Okay, so you write this equation, z plus or minus delta z, a by b is a z, so you can write z into 1 plus or minus az divided by a, and 1, this plus or minus into this minus value, because minus n, 1 minus n, this minus 1 is multiplied by this, so this plus into minus, plus into minus, minus term, and this minus into minus plus, so 1 minus plus delta b divided by b. Divided by both sides, dividing by z by both sides. So 1 plus or minus delta z divided by z, that is equal to 1 plus or minus delta a by a into minus plus or minus delta b by b. Okay, you multiply this one. 1, this one is multiplied this one. So you get 1 plus or minus delta a by a, and this delta b by b is multiplied this one. So you get delta plus minus plus delta b by b, and plus or minus delta a by a into delta b by b. So as the terms delta a by a and delta b by b are small, their product term can be neglected. Okay, this is a small value, so this value are neglected. So delta z by z equal to delta a by a plus delta b by b. So the maximum fractional error in the quotient of two quantities is equal to the sum of their individual fractional errors. Okay, then next one is the errors in the power of a quantity. Consider the nth power of a, that is equal to a power n. So the error delta z in z is z plus or minus delta z, that is equal to a plus or minus delta a power n, because this is a power n. This a value is substituted. So you get a plus or minus delta a power n. So take it out, this a value, a power n, 1 plus or minus delta a divided by a whole power n. This is 1 plus x whole power n, binomial theorem. We use this equation, binomial theorem equation is used. 1 plus x whole power n equal to 1 plus nx. Use these equations. Okay, so you get z into 1 plus or minus n, this n, delta a by a. So you write 1 plus z by z equal to 1 plus or minus n delta a by a. So this one and this one is cancelled. So you get, and this plus or minus also cancel. So you get delta z by z equal to n into delta a by a. So the fractional error in the nth power of a quantity is n times the fractional error in that quantity. So the general rule is z is equal to a power p, p power b power q divided by c power gamma. So the maximum fractional error in z is delta z divided by z. This a power p is write as p delta a divided by a, and p power q, so q into delta b by b plus this c power gamma, so gamma into delta c divided by c. Okay, the percentage error in z law is delta z by z into 100, that is equal to p delta a by a into 100 plus q delta b by b into 100 plus gamma delta c by c into 100.